Hi, I'm Sean Dukes from Learnsmarter, and today I want to talk about configuring internal, partner and customer community myTrailhead users all in the same org, giving them access to myTrailhead using permission sets. The reason I'm doing this, essentially I think because a lot of people haven't seen this and are interested to see what the access looks like for these different kinds of users, and also a little bit about how you set it up. Now, just a word about the way I've set this up. So this video does show a way that I found to configure myTrailhead using permission sets. I think it's quite cool personally, but it's not the only way, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best way. I may miss something in the video as well, so don't rely on this completely. In fact, what you should rely on definitely is the official materials provided by Salesforce. But nevertheless, it will give you an idea of what it looks like if you've never seen like a partner, for example, logging onto myTrailhead before, how that might work. So the moving parts. So we're using Salesforce ID for myTrailhead in this org. That's my preferred choice, but you again may have your own choice for different reasons. And in this org, we have three communities. So we have a base community, which I'm calling the identity community, and you'll see why. Then we have a customer community, a partner community, and three user types: an internal user, a customer community user, and a partner community user. And then we have three permission sets. So let's see how all that works together. Now, I'm going to show you this in a diagram first. So we've got Salesforce here, and then I set up my base community, which will be mycommunity.force.com. Then I'm going to set up my customer community, which is mycommunity.force.com/customer. And then obviously my partner community, which is mycommunity.force.com/partner. And then I have my permission sets. So the first permission set, which is important, is the one that just gives any user access to myTrailhead content. So I've created a permission set for that, and essentially it's myTrailhead content access only. And you can see I'm giving this to all of my internal, or not necessarily all of my, but the internal users that I want to use myTrailhead. And you'll see that it's also incorporating the base community, and I'll show you that in a bit. Then we have a second permission set for the customer community, which I'm going to give to all my customers, and a third permission set for the partner community. Now, deliberately here we have overlaps because we have a customer user and a partner community user. Now, those two users don't have access to myTrailhead because they don't have the myTrailhead content access permission set. But if I move them over here, then they would. So these people will have access to the customer community and to myTrailhead, or to the partner community and to myTrailhead. And obviously, as you can see, you could have access, somebody could have access to the partner community and the customer community and myTrailhead all at once, or whatever. But that's the basic idea anyway. So let's go and see, now we've got the sort of nuts and bolts, if you like, assembled. Let's go and see what it looks like when we put it all together. Okay, so this is my Salesforce org here, and I've set it up to work with myTrailhead. I'm going to show you a few things. So first of all, let's have a look at those three permission sets. So they're just set up here. As I say, the customer community permission set is going to give people access to the customer community, partner community likewise to the partner community, and this myTrailhead content access will work for internal and external users. It's not specified a license type, and that particular permission set just has one permission in it, which is essentially myTrailhead content access. So that's where I've set it up. Now here, this is the Salesforce Id Connector. If you're using Salesforce ID for myTrailhead, then you'll get to a point at which you have to specify where your customers are going to authorize. And in my case, it's going to be that mycommunity.force.com. That's how they're going to authorize. But you'll also notice that when I've created this Salesforce Id Connector app, and I've created another video somewhere else which you can watch about how you would do that, what I've done is I've added that myTrailhead content access permission set in here. And the reason for doing that is anyone who's been given that permission set will be authorized to log on to myTrailhead using Salesforce ID, because that's what this connected app essentially is all about. And then it's going to look at some of the communities. So the first one we're going to look at is that one I'm calling the identity community. Now, if I go into administration here and we look at members, which is the important bit, then you'll see here that in my members, I've got system admins, and then the only other member to this community is myTrailhead content access as a permission set. using permission sets, as I say, gives you massive flexibility, and that's all you need to do. So anybody with that permission set has access to this community. Now we also know that anybody with this community access can access myTrailhead content, and that's how it's all working. Right. But I don't really want anybody to come to this community. I'm not going to give out a URL. Obviously, I haven't done very much here. But what I would probably do in a production environment is I just create 2 buttons saying go to partner community, go to customer community, in case anybody did arrive here. But they're not really supposed to arrive here, and hopefully they won't. But essentially, the community doesn't do anything. It's got nothing in it, and you would make sure that it didn't. So this is the customer one. So customer one is, again, set up in a very similar way. If we look at the members here, the only members here are that customer community, people with that customer community license. Similarly, for the partner one, same thing, and the members, the only members here are people with that partner community permission set, right? And then if I look at my users, this user here is a customer community login user. And what you'll see is if we go down to the permission set assignments where I was just now, these two are just permissions to do stuff in the app, whereas these are more about getting into the actual app. So that's permission to access that customer community. That is permission to access myTrailhead, and they're all permission sets. For my partner user, they'll have different permissions. I mean, in this case, I haven't really given them any permission to do anything, but they've got permission to access myTrailhead, and they've got permission to go to the partner community, and that's just given to them by giving them those permission sets. And it does work really, really well. So firstly, let's look at this access then as an internal user. So if I'm an internal user, I'm a system admin anyway, so I'll have access to those communities. So if I drop down here, you can see I've got access to the ID community, which don't do anything, the partner community, and the customer community. Now, if I want my internal users to get access to myTrailhead content, I'm using Salesforce ID for myTrailhead. It is set up to authenticate through the community. So your internal users have to authenticate through the community. What I would probably do, I might even create a 4th community, basically for access for my internal users. But I'm just going to go to the customer community here, and I go into that customer community. And here I've got a little. Actually, no, I don't even need to go that far. I'll go back one step. So on the home page, you'll see right down the bottom here, I've just created a little shortcut just to take me into myTrailhead. So if I click that, that's going to take me into myTrailhead, or at least I hope it's going to take me into myTrailhead. So there we are. So that's me as an internal user straight into myTrailhead. Boom. Now let's do that as the other two. So if we go in here as the that's the partner user, that's the customer user. Let's log in as the customer now. So customer, again, they're going into that same community, they're logged in, and they get the same experience. So just click on that button, and I go straight into myTrailhead, okay, which is perfect, exactly what I want. And for the partner, exactly the same. So log into the partner community, and I think we've got an even simpler home page here. Oh, that's right, we did a little, we created a little myTrailhead page, and then we put that on there, and again, the same thing, they click on there and they go straight into myTrailhead. So they can all just go straight into myTrailhead, and it works perfectly. What I will show you finally is just a little bit about how this little icon works here. So let's have a look at that. Let's go into the one of my community builders. So let's go here. So if I just go into that customer one, just to show you how it's constructed. And it's pretty simple. So I've got just an HTML editor here, and fundamentally, don't worry about too much about all of this, but fundamentally, all it is there is just the URL. So that's the URL to the module, and that's all I need. There's no sort of fancy single sign-on stuff or anything else. It's just an image with a URL to the module. But that's how I'm getting into the community, and that's basically it. So I hope that was interesting. I hope that gives you an insight into how each of these users can essentially seamlessly go straight into myTrailhead once you get it all configured correctly, and how you can use permission sets to make that job really, really easy. Okay, thanks for watching.